Ready. Play.
Raducanu, Kessler. I've got, and I remember us talking about Kessler just about a week ago when I think she lost in the first round in her first match, or Arina Sabalenka's first match.
Marina's first match, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
siding
exactly.
with Matthew there. Yeah, I don't think Emma has much of a shot.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Kessler has been incredible this year. You know, she's
I
been in the
know.
Austin
You've
final,
reminded me of that
reached the
many
second
times.
round in Indian Wells and lost to Sabalenka in a very competitive match. And this week she's also beaten Noskova and Buskova. I mean, it's a real pattern, let's say. And I'm kind of like not sold on Raducanu doing big stuff here.
No. Okay. I can see why you're big on Kessler, especially in terms of her results this year. Do I get carried away with Emma and really one match, maybe even 1 or 2 sets? Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's go with a Raducanu win. But I wouldn't go as far as to say she doesn't have a shot. Anyway, I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, I'm definitely exaggerating a little for like comical purposes in case she doesn't win. But like, yeah, I do feel pretty strongly that the edge is with McCartney.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready. Play.
Well, howdy, Carson. How we doing?
Doing well. How are you doing, Zach?
I'm good, and hello to everybody joining us tonight for Emma Raducanu versus M. Kessler. What does the M stand for, Carson?
McCartney.
McCartney Kessler. That's like one of those. It's like one of those names that ends up on a whiteboard in a TikTok video.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man. This is our first time doing a show together. Very much looking forward to it. I want to hear from you. Hey, what do you think's going to happen in these next couple hours on Talking Tennis and in Miami?
Next couple hours. This is one of two matches remaining on the women's side, and then several men's matches still getting played. I'm feeling like I'm leaning for Kessler in this one. She's been playing very well this year, has a title in Hobart already. Made the finals in Austin, where she lost to Jessica Pegula in 3 sets. So she's been playing some very good tennis this year. 22 matches, I believe, so far. So lots of court time under her belt. Raducanu, this is arguably maybe her best tournament after the Australian Open so far. It's been a bit of a slow run for her at the beginning of this year, but hopefully she can find her top gear soon. So has been playing well in this tournament. I think this will be a fun match.
So just to be clear, you're not buying into the Raducanu-sans, the return of Emma. She's not there yet?
Not yet. I mean, it's tough. She just recently came off of, I believe, 4 straight losses. That's kind of tough. And I mean, we're here in the round of 32. She's got a couple of wins here. So she's not playing horribly, of course, but I'm not saying she's like going to be a top 10 player.
Yeah. No, I mean, it seems like she's on track to get to top 30 again. I think you're right. Like, is she going to compete for majors? You know, she's still very young. We'll have to see. I mean, she has to deal with off the court nonsense as much as maybe any player on the tour. I think perhaps Raducanu is the exception to that, but that's a slightly different situation than Raducanu, who I think has had a tough year, tough career with some of the off the court challenges. Just, you know, like the stalking. It's crazy, man. And I think every time I think about that, I just think, how can the WTA not be doing more to protect its players? And every single time I'm on a stream, I'm going to complain about the fact that tennis players get the least out of their governing bodies of any athletes on the planet. And it makes me very, very upset. That being said, I think I'm going to go with Raducanu here. It'll be really interesting to see how the crowd plays into it. Are they going to get behind the American? Are they going to get behind the comeback story? Okay. 75% of folks going Raducanu. I'm not that confident. I'm like 51% confident that she's going to win this.
Also 4 votes. So
that's why it's so important to vote, folks. I mean, you know, you could be 20% if you just click that button.
Yeah, it will be interesting. So Jess Pegula was just on court right before this, so it will be interesting to see how many of those fans stay behind. It is approaching the evening in Miami, so maybe people have dinner plans, but yeah, it will be interesting to see if some fans stay behind for this match.
Yeah. I also think, like, look, it's a type of match where the fans could swing for whoever is kind of the underdog in that moment. And so if this ends up being a 3-setter, I would imagine that the crowd will not just be behind one player the entire time. Shout out to Ozon, who always references my home state, which I got to shout out, North Kakalaki, and the P.D. Pablo song Raise Up, which, if you haven't heard that, 10 out of 10, it should be the state anthem. Carson, where are you coming in from today?
I'm from Minnesota, so in the United States as well. But
very cool. Where in Minnesota?
Minneapolis. So
look, man, I know we're here to talk tennis, but the internet's talking a lot about the new season of Love Is Blind. Are you got any inside dirt for us as a Minnesotan?
Not that I can tell you. I know someone who's on the show.
Come on, Carson. Come on. Tell us who it is. You don't have to give us any dirt. Just tell us who it is.
Oh, maybe I will at some point, but
okay.
Well, maybe get people to stick around for a little bit before I
I
share
think
all my
that's a
secrets.
pretty good carrot. Look, folks, if you stick around for this broadcast, you might just get some insider information about Love is
You might.
Blind. Look, you can bet on this stuff. You can tweet about it. You can go viral just for watching and talking about what Carson might say beyond the tennis today. Do you watch the show?
I'm not like a normal viewer of it.
Heard.
But this season, perhaps I'll see some of it. So
It does sound like you are a normal viewer of tennis, though, and so I'm curious. Do you play? Do you play recreationally? You know, or do you prefer to watch? Like, what's your tennis origin story? As we're getting ready for the stream to start here.
I do play recreationally, so love it a lot. Tennis is something I got into during COVID.
Oh, very cool.
It's a one-on-one sport. Typically, you can play doubles, of course, but a little bit easier to get together to play tennis than playing 5-on-5 basketball. Maybe.
Was that your game?
Basketball and soccer are what I
Yeah.
played growing up a little bit, but got into tennis, and then just really over the last 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
Really dived into the sport, started playing. So I'm not going to say that I'm like very good at all, but
So you started playing kind of at the tail end of the big 3, big 4 era. And so I'm curious, is there a player whose game you most admire or you most have modeled your game after?
Yeah, growing up, I certainly knew about the big 3. It even if you don't follow tennis, I feel like everyone does know about Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, Andy Murray as well. I don't know. There's not necessarily one player that I pull from. There are several. I think I do try to take some elements from Medvedev's game and just standing at the baseline and just not letting anything get past you. There's a skill to that.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, maybe in recreational terms, maybe a little more of a pusher than some other players on the tour, but hey, it works for him.
Being a pusher gets a bad rap. I learned a new term recently. It's being a clay rat. And it's used in a derogatory manner. It's just somebody who's a total dirtballer, somebody who's going to make you work, grind out every point. And I actually think I would love it if somebody called me a clay rat. I would take that as a huge compliment. And I find most of the time when somebody says, oh, that guy's a pusher, it's because they've lost to that person. They just didn't happen to like the style. You beat the guy. It's funny. When somebody's winning, they don't call you a pusher, right? It's only when you're giving them the old 1-2.
No, you're not complaining about anyone's playing style when you beat them. Keep doing that. I want to keep winning. But
Carson, question for you. Ozan in the chat thinks that there's a world in which you might be a Milos Raonic fan. Can you confirm or deny?
I do like him. I've only seriously been following professional tennis for the last 3.5 years. So I like him, but frankly, he's been injured most of the time.
Yeah,
that I've been following the tour. So he's fun to watch, but I just haven't seen him play a lot.
Yeah. Question for you: Is your stream starting yet? Because for me, I'm still on the tennis channel's got me on live stream start soon. So I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I don't want to get behind here.
No, they're not. No, I'm not sure what's happening, but they have not started the stream yet. And Google doesn't have score updates yet either, as you can see on screen.
Yep. They appear to be walking on court now, not on the match feed, which is still live stream about to start. But if you go to the tennis channel, Worlds feed, WTA, Miami Open commentary feed, seeing them out there. I'm curious, have you listened to any of the matches? Have you been enjoying the commentary at the Miami Open through Tennis Channel?
I think commentary on Tennis Channel has gotten a lot better. In the last 5 years. So we can start there. I I think the Australian commentary teams,
Yeah.
the Australian swing, those are always my favorites. But I no longer mute Tennis Channel.
Okay, that's a big improvement though. No, you like that's exactly the right way to put it. 'Cause I was a long time like I just can't deal with another of the most boring British people in an icy Eastern European for like that was like the formula, and it was just terrible, just over and over and over and over again. And now it seems like they're letting there be a little more flavor, a little more fun. Now it's certainly no talking tennis over there, but I do appreciate the effort that they are making to make the matches more engaging. I think you look at the state of tennis commentary compared to, I don't know, again, basically every other sport in the world except for maybe golf, and I think that there is room for growth at the Tennis Channel, at ESPN, at Channel 9 or whatever it was in Australia. Let the fun in. Do a Manning Brothers type cast like they do with football. Get a little wacky with it. Okay, so the players are at the net. The coin is flipping, and it appears that Kessler has won the toss.
Has your stream started?
No, they're on court on my stream, but it's not actually my stream. It's like one of the alt streams through Tennis Channel. They're showing it's round 3. They're in the grandstand. Miami Open presented by Itaú, which I'm not familiar with. If you know what that is, drop some knowledge on us. What is the sponsor?
Yeah, I'm not sure what Itaú is.
I will say they just showed one of the upcoming matchups. Sabalenka, Danielle Collins. That's going to be a really, really fun match. The Danimal in the States. And is she a Florida native?
She lives in Florida.
I mean this respectfully. She has strong, positive Florida vibes. Yeah.
So she's from there. I mean, several tennis players live in Florida. That's not even an American thing exclusively.
If John, the producer, is listening, I always say this. I think that Jack Draper needs to move to Florida. I think the best thing that he could do for his tennis career is get out of the UK, get down to Miami or Everett Academy or Saddlebrook or Bollettieri, because he just can't handle the heat. He's got everything that you need in a player, except for the ability to play when it's above 74 degrees for more than 3 sets. And I think moving to Florida would do wonders for him. Could settle for Vegas, but I think you really benefit more from practicing in the humidity than that dry heat that you see out west in the States. Oh, and Ozon has pointed out for us, it's a Brazilian bank, aka the Bank of Fonseca. Hey, that's cool. Seems like they're doing well.
Fonseca's going to own everything in that country in the not too distant future.
Man, I put in the Talking Tennis group chat before Tien Fonseca in round 1. Guaranteed lock of the century. Lerner Tien is going to win. And then he won the first set, I think in a tiebreaker. And I went to sleep feeling smart and good, and like maybe I was going to be right with this outrageous prediction. And then, of course, Fonseca came back and got it done. But I think clearly, we talk about the new big two with Alcaraz and Sinner, Sincaraz to some, although I think we got to work on that a little bit. And it's just a matter of time, I think, until both Fonseca and Lerner Tien join that to make a new big four.
It's interesting. I was on a stream the other night, and we had a little bit of a conversation about who is the second tier of players behind Alcaraz, behind Sinner.
Yeah.
Fonseca, obviously very young, has a ways to go before he can really cement himself in that group. Yeah. But Draper could be part of that group. Like Rune could be a part of that group. Jacob Mensik. Someone like Lorenzo Musetti.
Are we sleeping on Mensik, by the way? Because I feel like he doesn't have the same advantages that some of these other young players are from, just in terms of, where he grew up and the tennis authorities that he has access to and the resources, in the same way that Djokovic didn't have the same advantages that Federer and Nadal and Murray had. Do we think he might be a sleeper to make the leap? Because, man, he has weapons.
He has massive weapons. I think he can take the leap. To me, it feels like he's someone who may just need a couple of years to figure out the tour.
Yeah.
Last year was his first full year on tour. So he's just like going around it for the second time. And he's still like really young.
Yeah.
It's not like he's 25 years old. So I could see maybe a career path kind of like Draper.
Yeah.
For different reasons where it takes him
Oh my God. Hold on, I'm so sorry to cut you off, Carson. They're showing the graphic of the win probability, and they've got it as 50-50. They just showed on the screen that is a 50-50 win probability. What a cop-out. What a BS cop-out on the part of whoever the numbers cruncher is. Couldn't even get to 51. No courage in those numbers. Producer John says 51% Raducanu. You say Kessler. I say Raducanu. 50-50 with all the technology that we have. They're like, it's a toss-up. Great. Super.
I have too much technology at that point.
Yeah. Means we got a little longer before the AI takes over. If they can't even figure out who's going to be slightly more likely to win this match. Other matches just that are, of course I'm tracking. Andreeva and Isamova. I knew that Andreeva was off to an amazing start. I don't think that I quite realized she was third in the race. So, I mean, she's like, when was the last time a 17-year-old was third in the race a quarter into the year?
It's been a while. Her run has been incredible. And third in the race, she's 10 points behind Sabalenka.
Yeah. By the way, on my feed, getting underway.
We are.
And Raducanu, for anybody rooting for her, started off with a big return. So we might just be in for her return to form. I don't know. I'm feeling optimistic. I'm feeling 52% Raducanu now. Wow.
52%.
I like the New Balance color pattern they got Kessler working with. I'm always going to comment on the kit for everybody because I've found the Nike kits in particular to be so dull and uninspired and wasted on, Draper and Alcaraz, who are both shockingly, like breathtakingly marketable, and that's the best Nike can do. So kudos to New Balance for having a little bit more fun, a little more playful. I think, the same criticism for the Alcaraz attire, I would say for Raducanu, just kind of a boring design.
It's a tennis kit.
Yeah.
There's not much to say about it.
Yeah. They're not set the world on fire with that, I guess. Okay. Oh, maybe Kessler is not ready for the Raducanu-sans. Love 40. Emma off to a very hot start. Want to hear from producer John if we can, if he's now also at 52% Raducanu confidence. I'm thinking maybe yes. Second serve at Love 40, not a position you want to be in your first game. Big moment here. Let's see if Raducanu gets the early break. Huge return again, and she does. Okay. I don't think I would have said break it love. I don't think in a million years I would have bet on that start.
That's a very good start for her. I do think your stream is a few seconds ahead of mine right now.
Forgive me. So why don't we do this then? Once Raducanu is in motion for serving again, I'm going to pause mine until she's about to serve for you, and then I'll just start at the same time and we'll sync up.
Yes, maybe 3 seconds right now. Just walking past the umpire right now.
Okay. Raducanu collects the balls to serve. Approaching the line and taking her stance.
We've got the balls now.
And I am just going to pause right here. And you let me know when she's about to go into that motion.
Yeah, right when she got into her stance?
Yep.
All right, she's bouncing the ball now.
Okay. What's the right amount of times to bounce a ball for you? For me, it's 3. Just 3 every time. Gets it done.
And when I serve, I do either 3 or 5.
Odd numbers. Odd numbers is the way to go, unequivocally. Hey, chat, if you're a player, let us know what the right amount of times to bounce a ball is. And if you say like 14, just don't like you. Straight up. That's too much. Especially for a rec match. If you're a pro, fine.
Yeah, if you're a professional, you're anywhere in the top 500. Do whatever you want.
Yes, yeah. But, you know what? I'll say top 1,000. If you're 1,001, there's a cap on how many bounces you get.
Yeah, I don't think you need to like bounce it 4 times. Stop. Bounce it 4 more.
I like to do a little bounce through the legs sometimes just to let people know, like, hey, like I played basketball through middle school. Like, what's up? Just to set the tone. Yeah. All right. Extended rally here. Raducanu leaving a couple short there, but Kessler not taking advantage of it. Neutral ball, big inside out there. Yeah. Powerful. I see the Kessler is rocking the visor. Actually, both players are rocking the visor. You don't see a double visor match that often.
Not that often, not that late in the evening either.
Yeah.
It's nearly 7 o'clock their time. So
what time does it get dark in Miami? I mean, that's one where, look, every little thing matters in tennis, especially at this level. And so who knows how the going from light to dark is going to affect them. If it affects one player, 1% more than the other, that could change the dynamic of the match. The weather is going to shift here. It's one of the many things I love about tennis is all these little variables. They add up, and we'll see if they do it one way or another tonight.
Second serve from right now. And Kessler puts it wide.
That's a pretty darn. I mean, and I know that Raducanu's got known for having a powerful second serve. Mm-hmm. That's a really, really tough second serve. And, if she's able to stay away from the doubles and hit her first at a good clip, it's just going to be a battle all night for Kessler to get a break here. So let's see if she can keep it up. 30-15. Ooh, she kind of sprayed that one. She's able to put so much action on her serve. I mean, I know she missed that by about 6 feet, but you could just see the break on it with the power. 40-15 after a missed return.
Not return.
I think that Kessler, as the match goes on, will get more comfortable returning that serve. But you can tell that she's not feeling the second serve yet. And it's early. It's the first service game. So nothing, not worth reading that much into, but.
This is also like her first full year on the tour.
Yeah.
So this is the biggest match that she's played in front of home fans so far, a third round of a 1,000. So.
That's a great point. So Carson, can you give us a little bit of background on Kessler for those watching that aren't aware?
So she's taken a path a little more like what Daniel Collins would have taken, like going through college. Playing through college and then coming on the tour. So played well in college, but just hasn't been on the tour super long as a full-time player. So towards like the summer of last year was when she really started like coming up. But
yeah,
I played qualifying of the US Open a couple of times. But
like a lot of young Americans, the kind of the classic American, not a superstar prospect route. Ozon in the chat has a question for us as we are now at deuce, and what was an easy service game has gotten less easy. Raducanu, by the way, has made one first serve so far. Not going to get it done. Let's see if she can change that here on deuce. She does. She leaves it short again. And Kessler's pouncing until she wide. Yeah. So Ozon in the chat asks, Zach, if you had to choose one brand to wear for a whole year, would you be a Sergio Tacchini guy or a Lacoste guy? Lacoste. Although, don't forget Johnny Mack, one of my favorite players, and I would argue the GOAT, is definitely there is a case for McEnroe as the GOAT. Was wearing Sergio Tacchini when he won basically all of his championships. They make fantastic stuff. in terms of comfort, I think the on like material is in a league of its own. There is nothing better for hot weather tennis than on. It's fantastic. The sleeveless one in particular on a hot day, like you feel just, infinitely cooler than if you're wearing a cotton t-shirt.
It's
What's
great
your
material.
brand?
Adidas.
Adidas. Oh, Mr. Three Stripe. Okay, a three stripe guy. Yeah.
So a little bit different for an American, maybe, but
many of my buds swear by the three stripes. Ooh, how about that sliced approach from Kessler?
Has a point to break back.
Yeah. She appears to have figured out the serve a little bit more very quickly. Fast learner, the young American.
Listen, if you can get people in the first 10 minutes of a match, then we got some.
Oh, and she gets it.
We're back on serve.
She gets it. Yeah, wow. Okay. Topsy-turvy. Let's see if Kessler can get the first hold of the match here at 1-1. Raducanu was cruising until that double fault at 40-15.
You hope that's not a game that you regret in half an hour or so, if this is going to a tie break.
You bet. Yeah, it was right there. It was on her racket. Whew, how about that forehand, though?
Good forehand.
I think perhaps Raducanu took out her frustration with that pass game on the ball there. I mean, that's just textbook. Take your opponent out wide, rip it up the line. And I think that's, shots like that ability. It's why people continue to be so bullish on Raducanu, even though it's been several years of sort of living in the tennis wilderness for her. Nice put away there by Kessler. Very nice put away. Oh, sponsored by DoorDash as well for her. Didn't notice that.
I think that might be a newer partnership. I don't remember that on her kit at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I mean, she's player on the ascent, right? It's okay, we got a match here. They both came to play.
Nice shot of the crowd there.
Absolutely.
Seems like they enjoyed that point.
My only complaint, whenever we do these streams, and I love doing these streams, one of the great joys of my life is you can't hear the crowd, and so I typically have my feed muted because it would be distracting for you and I to be chatting with that, either in the background of the feed or whatever. I am so curious to hear where the crowd is in all this. Are they getting behind a player? Are they enthusiastic? And so if you're in the chat, do a little reporting for us. Do a little citizen journalism. Tell us what's happening with the crowd. No comment. Ozon.
The crowd might be a little bit more one-sided in this one. Kessler is a Florida native, so
She's a Florida native, but Emma Raducanu, one of the most marketed athletes on the planet, right? But you're right, you're Florida native, hometown girl, and an underdog, kind of. I don't know. They're both kind of the underdog somehow. Ooh. That's a bad miss. Yeah, it's a tough miss, but you got to make that on the tour. Carson, do you ever get out to any ATP or WTA tournaments, or still on the to-do list? Yeah,
I do. So, I've been to the U.S. Open the last 3 years.
Oh wow, that's
That's a lot of fun. So, planning to go again this year, and then was looking at potentially going to Cincinnati for a couple of days as well.
Oh, I've heard that's a great one, as we are at an extended rally on this break point. Let's see if Raducanu. Oh, a neck cord. Will it come back to haunt her? Will it help her? Extended rally. Still going. exchanging absolute. Oh, and net cord does not go the way of Kessler. And we have our third break in 3 games to start the match.
I mean, I think already you see how both of these players are going to play. They're going to be ripping balls all over the court. Extended rallies like that probably aren't going to happen too often.
Yeah.
Points fairly quickly.
Give us a little context, Carson. Are the courts playing fast as far as you can tell in this tournament? Are they comparable to Indian Wells, or what are you seeing out there in terms of the pace?
It's been so reports from the grounds have been it's faster than Indian Wells. It almost always is, and part of that is one tournament is a couple thousand feet above sea level. This is quite literally at sea level.
Hey, maybe below it soon. Yeah.
That's a fair point. It's been quick, maybe a little bit slower than previous years. But this traditionally has been regarded as one of the quicker 1000s.
Yeah.
Not quite Shanghai levels, or not Shanghai, Wuhan levels, but
it's, I know we're here to watch, enjoy, and talk about this match, but I do just want to touch on Alcaraz for a second. He's a fan of Raducanu. That's not what I want to talk about. He keeps having these results against players that he's simply supposed to beat. And the thing you can say about Sinner is he beats the guys he's supposed to beat at as high of a clip as anybody alive today. With Djokovic, he's still, of course, a top 10 caliber player. But he also has some losses that are against guys that he's supposed to be. Now, when you're 38 years old, it's a little different than when you're 22 and supposed to be on the ascent. And I don't know what's going on with him. I know there's, the seat is heating up for Juan Carlos Ferrero, and I can't believe it for a player who's accomplished all that Alcaraz has at his age. I think it should. It's time to the expectations for him are simply so high because there's so much that he can do on a tennis court. And if Ferrero can't find a way to get it out of him consistently and make sure that he's making a deep run, essentially in every tournament, time to look at somebody new. Goran Ivanisevic, one of my favorite players of all time, is available. Go get somebody.
Moment. So,
say it. Oh, what a point to start this 4th game here. Nice winner there from Kessler.
We can see on screen here, Gael Monfils up a break early on. It's Jean Mounard.
A lot of people say that my game reminds them of an American Monfils.
Yeah,
nobody's ever said that ever. That's just a straight up lie. I love Monfils and I love watching him play though. He keeps pulling out these outrageous 3-set wins where he looks like he's about to die midway through the first, maybe the second set. It's amazing. Every single match we get from Monfils at this point is a gift to tennis fans.
Yes.
I did make another. I don't know if you picked up on this yet, Carson, but I get every single prediction I make wrong. Whatever I predict, it's almost always the opposite. I predicted that the match of the Australian Open was going to be Monfils, Mapecci Pericard, and Monfils was going to win. Yes, he did win that match, but it was like just Serve-Bot City. Like not exciting at all. It was a 3-hour and 45-minute slog, and Monfils did his best to make it entertaining. But hey, Raducanu, by the way, looking on track here, maybe to get this first hold, which would be a big one.
That would be important. Being up 3-1, you're halfway to the first set at that point.
Yes, indeed. Raducanu serves at 30-15. Oh, up the tee, an ace. It's the second ace in a row, I think. Look at that graphic. Ace.
What do you think about the new WTA branding?
Oh, I don't know. I think they're trying their best. I think they're trying their best to justify how they keep bilking the players out of their hard-earned money and just shoveling it into the pockets of executives at every level other than the people who play the game. It's disgusting. The amount of money that makes way to the players in tennis compared to other sports. 18% in basketball, football and baseball, they expect it to be more like 50. In soccer, it's well above 50. The players get shafted. So basically, I think they're doing a pretty good job with the branding. But I actively root against the tennis governing bodies because I think that they're so exploitative and are so just bad at their jobs and bad for the sport. I think tennis thrives in spite of them, not because of them. Yes, Ozan. I'm like largely in support of the PTPA. I think that they're working very hard to make things better. I think it's a flawed option, but it's better than what we got. Sean Power has a good question for us here, Carson, which is, when's the last time that Raducanu won 3 straight matches in a tourney? And I don't know the answer to that, but
I don't know the answer off the top of my head. I don't think that's happened this year, though.
Oh, look at this point. Drop. Ah, a little long, but that was a great point there. Ozan also referenced the fact that there's an ITF event in Rome, Georgia. I actually have a client that's based out of Rome, Georgia. And so, Ozan, we might have to link up sometime at one of those in the future. Carson, we were also talking about tournaments that we've gone to. The Cary Challenger in North Carolina, 15, 20-minute drive away from my house, since that's one I'm looking to get to this year. And then Winston-Salem Open, one of my favorite tournaments. We never really get the top 20 guys because it's so close to the U.S. Open, but it's a great tournament. Hey, crowd pleaser, one of the favorites, Super Dave, America's coach, has entered the chat. Dave, welcome. We're very curious to get your read on what's happening in this match. Raducanu, so far, off to a pretty darn hot start. Tell us what you're seeing, Dave. Both relatively low first serve make rates. Let's see if they can increase that to more like 60, 65 here in the coming games. And if anybody knows the answer to the last time that Raducanu won 3 matches in a row in a tournament, let us know. It's not like...
I found it. It was Wimbledon.
Wimbledon 22?
Last year.
Last year, okay.
Yeah. Zarazua, Elise Mertens, and then Maria Sakkari in round 3. And then she lost to Lulu Sun.
Poor Maria Sakkari. Is she top 10 still?
I don't know if she's top 50 after this tournament.
Yeah. Every time she remains high in the rankings, I'm like, oh, how did that happen? I just, I guess, would you say that she is the Rublev of the women's side, or maybe Rublev is the Sakkari of the men's side?
No. Frankly, Rublev wins enough matches at the Grand Slams to maintain his ranking.
He just gets to the quarterfinal. Yeah, he's a quarterfinal king.
I mean, that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Really, if you want to be top 10, just do it 4 times a year.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that Shelton could be one of those guys here as his career progresses, by the way. He just has the weapons to win against the guys that he's supposed to win against. Okay, we got another deuce. Raducanu. Maybe, well, not maybe. She's 2 points away from a double break here. She's playing with confidence, pace. She does seem to be leaving the ball short a little more than she should. It just seems like Kessler has not been able to capitalize consistently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be a problem, especially as the sun is setting, the court gets cooler, that ball is not going to bounce as much. If she keeps leaving it short.
Yeah.
Like right now, Kessler is just overhitting a lot. But if she can rein that in and Raducanu keeps leaving shots a little bit short.
It seems like Kessler moves very, very well horizontally, but not great vertically. And so maybe that's nerves. Maybe that's just kind of finding her range for the day. I haven't watched her play a ton before this. Ooh, a bad miss from Kessler, and Raducanu is up the double break. Yeah, I agree with Dave. Body language, arm analyst, little nervous looking. Little nervous.
Some nerves. It's a big moment for her.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we don't talk about this enough. Like, a lot of money's on the line. Like, Yeah, the points are there. The crowd is there. But, like, there's a lot of money. Like, this is big business. Not as big as it should be because, again, those nasty governing bodies siphoning cash away. But still a lot of money on the line.
I think it's like third round to fourth round. It's like a $40,000 jump.
Yeah. I can't imagine what it would feel like playing tennis knowing that if I won, I would make $40,000 more. I'd be pretty nervous. I would be double faulting left and right. And my serve is supposed to be the most reliable part of my game. Oh, man. What must that feel like? And, you know, and Kessler is young too, right? And so, like, for some of them, like, they just haven't played with these stakes before. They haven't played with a crowd, you know, hanging around for the last match of the session. They're showing a clip, by the way, of Raducanu's footwork there. And I do, well, I think the kit, it's a tennis kit. The shoes, pretty snazzy. Are those the Vapor Nikes?
Maybe. I'm not caught up on Nike's branding enough to know for sure.
Me either. I did just order a pair of the On sneakers that are really highly recommended. Gonna give them a go, see how it is. Right now, I'm playing. I like the Prince. The Prince shoes are pretty darn good. Yeah. They're the cheapest one. They're the best sub $80 pair of tennis shoes you can get. Monfils, by the way, seems to have lost the advantage break there and is serving 3-all up 30 love. That's gonna be one to watch. I bet you that goes 3. All of his matches seem to go 3 now.
There haven't been a lot of 3-setters today. A lot of great sets. So.
Just that Pegula one in the lead-in. Which, by the way, heartbreak for her opponent there. But way to get it done in that tiebreaker for Pegula, especially after losing the first in a tiebreaker. You know, certain karmic satisfaction. Ooh. Super Dave recommends the K-Swiss Ultra Shots if you're looking for a tennis sneaker brand. Kessler, very smooth winner return on that one. If you're Raducanu, you do not want to give back one of these breaks. You want to just get this set in the tank, make it happen here. Let's see if she pulls out a big first at 15-all. Big first just didn't go in, you know. Just cranked it.
Long.
She bounces the ball, preferably odd number of times. Second serve to Kessler's forehand and Shankopotamus into the stands. And there maybe is a souvenir for some lucky fan, but also it's tennis, so they'll probably just give it back. A thing that I think that we should stop doing. In baseball, you keep the ball. What do you think about that, Carson?
I don't know. There are some things about tennis that are weird like that I kind of like.
Yeah.
Like throwing the ball back.
It's kind of a fun one. I can see that. I can see that. For
It's
me,
just different.
It's just different enough. Hey, so there's a question for you in the chat, Carson, which is, can Anisimova stop the Mirror Freight train tonight from Ozon?
Can she?
Let me alter it. Will she? Will she?
Yes.
Oh, we got a big prediction. Okay. Break it down for us. What's going to happen tonight as Raducanu now has a 40-30 advantage to serve for the game? Big call, Carson. Yeah.
Very big call. Maybe not quite my biggest. I once picked Emma Navarro to make the finals of the Australian Open.
Big call or big other letter all, Carson?
I don't know. If I get it right, we'll never hear the end of it. Maybe. Who knows? Anisimova and Andreeva right now. It is 1-1. As Raducanu does hold that game to go up 5-1. Kessler will serve to stay in the set. No, I mean, Anisimova and Andreeva, that's a massive matchup. Those are the two players that have won all of the 1,000 so far this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Andreeva obviously has the last two, but Anisimova got her first earlier this year. Anisimova, when her game is on, she can beat anyone on the tour. I feel like she's just a massive hitter, especially when that backhand is on. Like when that shot is going, like it's tough to play defense against that because she can spray that all over the court.
You know, Raducanu is just getting the early points on Kessler serve every time, and then Kessler is having to try and battle back to get into it. Mm-hmm. And she's just got to find a way, I think, to score some easy or easier points early in her service game or just service game in general. But Raducanu is returning so well and defending extremely well too. I mean, look at this rally. Yeah, I mean, so in the net. I mean, what tennis player can't relate to what just happened there? Raducanu keeping it deep, sometimes with pace, sometimes just keeping it deep. Kessler at a certain point just thinks, forget this. I'm going to end the point now. Goes, cranks the ball. Ball comes back a couple times, does it again in the net. I mean, really, really great defense from Emma. Tough opponent right now. I think it looks like we are, and it's Love 40. 1-5 looks like we are cruising to a is this fourth break for Raducanu in the set? I believe it is, yeah. And a second serve here. Yeah, 4 breaks, 2 holds from Raducanu if this break comes through here, which it seems imminent. And there it is. There it is.
The set in 29 minutes.
I think we're going to see a different Kessler in set 2. I do not think we're getting a repeat of that. I think sometimes the best thing you can do to swing away is get your tail kicked a little bit, which just happened. If you're Kessler, what do you have to lose now? Swing, trust your game, play your game, hope for the best. If you're in her box, what do you say to Kessler right now, Carson?
If I'm in her box, I'm just telling her that, you just got smoked, but the good news is you cannot possibly play worse than you just played.
Yeah, that win or unforced error ratio, it ain't getting it done.
6-15, the match is on her racket. She's just missing right now. It can't really get worse than that. And so just go out there, get some serves in play with pace, preferably. I think the thing that's hurting her is that early on, she just wasn't getting first serves in and showed
right.
She backed off of the pace a little bit. And then she's just playing defense right away on her own service points. That's not really how tennis is supposed to work.
Yeah, totally agree. Speaking of how things are not supposed to work, Sean Power, well, it did give me a chuckle. It would not count as the sunshine double if Emma gets Miami and Jack won Indian Wells. I guess you could argue it's a sunshine double for the UK. Could give them that. Yeah. As Americans right now, we just kind of got to be friendly to our friends abroad, because all this stuff. Yeah, well, let's give him the sunshine double. Sure. Yeah, let's go. Hopefully she wins. Hopefully sunshine double. Let's see it. Super Dave says that Raducanu needs to come out aggressive early in the second and roll Kessler if possible. I tend to agree, Carson. I think that the last thing that she wants to do is slow this down. Push it. See if you can get out of here and get home early. Carson, do you agree with Dave's assessment?
I think so. That was very good, but I do think I've seen her play better than that. So she as well does have another level that she can reach with her aggressiveness. So I think if you're Emma, you don't want to let Kessler claw her way back into the match early, with a break right here. This game is really important for her.
I mean, the backhand from Raducanu is, everything is working for her more or less, but the backhand in particular just looks gorgeous. And I know that's, her strongest shot, arguably. But it just, I mean, did that hit?
Yep, that was in.
I mean, come on. That's silly. That's silly. Also you look at Kessler there, and she's falling backwards. She's leaving it a little bit too short, not enough pace. I think she's got to step into the court more. I mean, when Raducanu is putting that pace on it, it just seems like Kessler is not able to utilize that pace and redirect it. It pushes her back in moments like that. Ozan says, and I quote here, Raducanu winning Miami is incredible wishful thinking from the Brits. Yeah, I think that's I concur. Doctor, I concur. I'm trying to think of like what a good comp. Would that be like if I said Lerner Tien was a guaranteed lock to beat Fonseca? Is that equally wishful thinking? Or honestly, that's probably less wishful thinking. That's like saying Lerner Tien is going to run the table level wishful thinking, I think.
I think saying Tien there would maybe be a little bit more bold.
Yeah.
Just because we haven't seen him do it yet. So
that kid can play, by the way. I think people think I'm joking. He has a game out of the past. It's so much more touch and feel based. And, he's zigging while other players are zagging in terms of his style. And I think it's going to give people fits for forever. Sean Power makes a good point, which is, there might be a little bit less pressure on Raducanu now that Draper is performing. And I hadn't thought about that before the match, but you know what? I think there's some truth to it. Carson, what do you think?
I think there could be some truth to it. I think multiple things can be true at the same time. Like one, Jack doing really well is going to take some pressure off. Also, there's the reality that the further away that we get from that U.S. Open, if she can't back it up, then there's just going to be less expectation for her.
Yeah, man. To Dave's point, she did what she needed to do in that game. Held it love on the board. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here. I think I said in between sets that I didn't think we were going to see the same result from Kessler, and I meant it, and I believed it. And when I said it about 6 minutes ago, but there's a part of me, it's like, I don't know, is Raducanu, I mean, is she just too much right now for Kessler? Is it too much power? Is it too much pressure? Let's see if Kessler can get on the board. If Raducanu gets this break, I don't want to say the match is over because it certainly isn't, but it's hard to see a comeback happening after that. And yeah, I mean, look, those are the shots you just can't miss if you're trying to come back.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate there.
Her box looks like they're at a funeral, by the way. And not a fun one.
Well, a couple of updates. The other two matches that are going right now, both have had medical timeouts.
Oh, no. Monfils?
So, Zhao Munar had a medical timeout for something on his neck.
Oh, my goodness, that return.
Mira Andreeva just had a medical timeout for her stomach abdominal area.
Uh-oh.
So
that's no good.
That's not good. Just a few minutes into that match, but
I want to just point out that serve was 70 miles an hour, and I just don't think that Kessler is going to be able to get back into this match without being more aggressive on that serve. I don't see how she can beat this Raducanu if she doesn't put a little more pace on those serves. Here we go, another second serve at love 30. Raducanu now returns the favor and kind of sprays one. That was a real opportunity. Still, I mean, there still is for Raducanu, but yeah, Dave says, "Ouch! Stay away from Emma's backhand side." No kidding. Some of the angles in this set alone, silly. Another second serve here. Oh, you got to feel for Kessler in a situation like this. Hopefully she's able to make it competitive, but who hasn't been out on the court at some point in time, and it's just not going your way, and you want to perform. Maybe her legs aren't there. I don't know. Maybe the confidence isn't there. Maybe she just doesn't have the answer to what Raducanu is bringing to the table right now. But 15-40. Let's see what happens here. And another second serve. Got to get that first serve up. Wow. And another big backhand winner. Well, Carson, I'm having a great time with you. I don't know how much longer we're going to be here. But hey, you know, in chat, as always, y'all are fantastic, keeping us entertained. Some great comments, some great questions. All right. If you think that Kessler's going to win in the chat, tell us why, because I don't, but would like to see, you know, give us a reason for hope for Kessler to make this match. I don't think we're getting a comment. Do you, Carson?
I don't know that we will.
There's that Minnesota dry humor that the region is so famous for.
It's been one-way traffic so far, and that's good forehand right there from Kessler. But yeah, you can just see in her body language. Does not seem to be a ton of confidence right now.
I know, you know, and she's doing the thing you're supposed to do, the footwork to try and get yourself going. And, you know, there's something to me that's so admirable about a tennis player where it's just looking like it's not their day, just trying so hard to continue to change their tennis stripes. And, you know, kudos to Kessler. She's battling out there. You know, it's unclear to me if she's playing Emma Raducanu or herself right now, though. You know, she's in a battle, and it seems like that first hurdle is getting past. You know, maybe that confidence, maybe, yeah, it just seems like that confidence with herself, and then she can get on to Emma. So, and again, you know, anyone who's played tennis at any level knows that feeling. You know, there's players that you can beat, but if you don't believe you can beat them, probably ain't going to happen. Good return there. Good return there to make it 15-30, you know. World in which you can turn it around.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about, like, on one hand, the match potentially being over in 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it's one break.
Yeah.
In the second set. Like, that's the beautiful thing about tennis. It can turn around quickly here if she is able to get some shots in.
That backhand again. Yeah, no, you're right. Look, we're 2 points away from 3-0, and we're 2 points away from being on serve. It's the most perfect scoring system ever designed. Ozon points out that there are few things more satisfying in tennis, I would say in life, than a crisp approach shot and a solid put-away volley. The thing I'll add to that, a kick serve out wide on the ad side, weak return, crisp put-away volley. That's my tennis heaven. And it happens to me, I try it probably 7 or 8 times a match, and it happens to me maybe once. But you got to go for it. Raducanu, now with a game point here. Serving well. Look. I'm starting to believe in the Raducanu-sance here. Might need a new word for it, though. I don't think it's going to stick. Second serve. 40-30. Yeah, that was not a big miss there. To try and go up 3-love against the young American who's probably not having the best day. Nice. Oh, yeah. Just a little long. Brother, if it's me out there, I'm not even sitting down on these changeovers. I'm standing, and I'm like, yo, let's keep it going. I got points to win. And, you know, you. I think you've got an opponent in Kessler who's a little bit on tilt. If you're a poker player, you know, just keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Now I see the umpire talking into a microphone. That's never a good sign, and I don't know what exactly he's saying, as we don't have the sound on, but we could be about to see a medical timeout. But also, I don't know.
Did say something to him as she was walking by the chair, so I think we'll see a physio out in just a couple of moments. But.
You know what? Injured just kind of sore or not at all, it's a good move. Slow it down. Slow it down. Take a minute, take a breath, change the momentum.
Yeah, take your couple of minutes here. Maybe if there's something with her stomach, just get a pill quick. Settle down some nerves. Give you a moment to clear your head.
While we're waiting for this, I just like to point out over my shoulder. Notice I've got Santa Claus with a tennis racket back there.
In March.
Hey, man, Santa plays tennis year round. He only works one day a year. He's got actually Santa is probably the dream recruit for a USDA team. He's available for weeknights, weekends, during the daytime. Oh, what's Kessler saying? Hey, if anybody played Blitz the League growing up, great video game. You had the option when a player got injured to just give them steroids in that moment. For whatever reason, they didn't make a sequel to that. But that's probably the only thing the doc could do that would be helpful here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Kessler it looks like, going to go to the locker room here, or is she? What's happening?
Looks like she might be
calling a match. I mean, I think I'm going to say what everybody's thinking. Yeah, that's it.
Yep, that's match.
Major UTR ramifications for Kessler for defaulting versus losing 1-0. Bagel and breadstick absolutely can kill you on UTR. Not that I think the players are thinking about that, but just have to mention as somebody who checks it weekly.
Yeah, UTR is not exactly what they're thinking about. But
yeah, when there's actual things at stake, I don't think they care. Obviously, sad moment for Kessler. She's the hometown kid. She's having a really, really solid year. She's clearly got a bright future in front of her. Something was off. Didn't bring her A game, likely because she's dealing with some type of medical issue. Of course, exciting to see Emma continuing to advance into a later-ish stage of a tournament. But you never want to see somebody get hurt or sick. And wishing Kessler the best, in future tournaments, but also, just in general. That sucks. I can't imagine what she's going through right now. I'm sure that she's been looking forward to a moment like this since she was a kid. And it didn't go the way that she wanted. It seems like, again, likely in part or entirely because of injury. She will be back, though. She's got what it takes. Didn't have it today, but just because you don't have it today doesn't mean you don't have it.
Absolutely. She'll be back. And I mean, it's a tough moment, but I mean, like I said, it's really her first full year on the tour when we just going through her points from last year. She's not even defending 200 points.
Wow.
Yeah, she's defending less than 500 total points until the US Open.
Wow.
She's not going anywhere. So.
Oh, look at that. Emma Raducanu, 12-3 record versus USA players.
That's a really good percentage. So.
I haven't seen a Brit with that kind of record versus Americans since long time ago. Since the 1770s. Year one of the Revolutionary War. It's not since then has a Brit exerted that kind of dominance over us. But yeah, I guess maybe War of 1812, probably. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. If you're a history guy, somebody in the chat, you know better than me. Okay, so who's Raducanu got in the next round?
So she's got the winner of Andreeva and Anisimova.
Well, I don't want to be a buzzkill, but she's had a great run, and after she loses that next match, she can move on to the next tournament with a little bit of confidence and hopefully build on this. But take it to the bank. There is no world in which Andreeva is losing this match or to Raducanu. Andreeva is just that good right now. She's the princess who was promised. She's that good. I make time to watch her doubles matches with Diana Schneider because she's so good and so fun to watch.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Like, Schneider is good in her own right, and I think
she's a lefty too, got a lefty funk, you know. Schneider played briefly at NC State as well, and so
that's I guess kind of close to you.
Yeah, it's like 40 minutes away, which so you know that's one of the great tickets in American sports, college tennis. I mean, the level is absolutely spectacular. We're seeing more and more players with NIL going that route, and so North Carolina Central, right around the corner, fantastic level. Duke University, fantastic level. UNC Chapel Hill. I mean, you're seeing future top 100 players, men and women, every single match, and it's really cool. College tennis is a cheap ticket. You can sneak a beer in there if you want. I mean, a bunch of college kids, they don't care. Sometimes they sell burgers. Most of the time, not. Bring a pocket burger, maybe a pocket dog. I don't know, whatever you're into. It's a great, great ticket. Is there any world in which you see Raducanu winning against Anisimova or Andreeva? Or am I being too bearish for her?
I think there's a world where she can win. She will not be the favorite against either of them. She'll be a heavy underdog, and it's going to take her playing at the level she played tonight, and whoever she faces is going to have to be off their game.
Yeah.
So this is, a really good step for her, though, into the fourth round now of Miami. So just one match away from quarterfinals potentially, which would be a massive step in the right direction for her.
Some pretty big points implications as she kind of looks to get back into the top 50, then top 30, and then ultimately top 10. I think again, I if I'm her, aim for top 30 for this year. I was thinking about this before the show. There's, I think many of us, certainly I have been, I've had a professional success in something earlier than I anticipated. And then what came after that, I wasn't quite ready for, where maybe things just kind of line up, something goes your way. And then whether it's the responsibility or the pressure of what comes after that, kind of just aren't there. And I really feel for Raducanu. She just burst onto the scene kind of not out of nowhere, but certainly ahead of schedule. Mm-hmm. And, look, I think maybe now she's on schedule, right? She's clearly a talent. She's clearly going to be a top 100 player for years and years to come if she wants to be. She's likely going to be a top 30, top 20, maybe top 10 player. She just kind of had things happen a little faster than she was ready for, I think. And maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but I really believe that's how it all went down.
Yeah, I think I agree. She was not projected to win the U.S. Open at all. She was in qualifying.
Yeah.
And didn't face anyone in the top 32 on the way to that title. So a little bit of, and you can only beat the players that are in front of you. It's not her fault that no one else from the top 32 could get to the point where they were facing each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, a little bit ahead of schedule for her. And it's not like she's 35 years old and close to retiring. She's 22. She's not that much older than some other players that we are seeing move higher up in the rankings. She's the same age as Marta Kostyuk, same age as Clara Tauson.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Danielle Collins didn't even turn pro, I think, until she was 22.
22 or 23.
Yeah.
She played at Virginia for 4 years. So
I, by the way, I'm watching now the stream of Anisimova, Andreeva.
I am as well. So
this stretch the trainer's doing, I'm sure that there's a lot of science behind it. I'm sure it works, but it looks just so goofy. It looks like she's just giving her a hug. Yeah, just having kind of a hard day. Give me a little hug. Yeah, why not? clearly some core stuff. Core stuff is no
Some
joke, man.
tightness in the lower back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
She's
Anna
too young.
Smolders
She's
up
too young to have lower
4 years
back
old.
tightness. If I sleep on the couch, whew, I fell asleep watching some TV show a couple weeks back. You know, at like 8:45 p.m. Woke up like 10:15. Back was absolutely torched after that.
Yeah, been there.
Back spasm related issues. Oh man. Well, hopefully she can get it back on track here. Let's see.
Anna Smolder up a break right now. After the previous medical timeout, and Andreeva did win the game right away. Went up 3-2. And Anisimova now gotten the break back to go up 4-3.
Well, listen, you know, I think we're here to watch Raducanu Kessler. We got a little bit of Raducanu, not much Kessler. But Carson, it's been a great stream. I think, you know, shall we wrap up and call it a day?
Yeah, I think so.
As always, folks in the chat, thanks so much for joining us. Sorry it wasn't more of a match. Really unfortunate situation for Kessler. Producer John and the whole Talking Tennis team and community, y'all are the best, and y'all make all this possible. And hey, if you haven't subscribed, I don't know why you haven't yet. You should do it. You should definitely do it. Hey, subscribe. Please subscribe. Please. Just do it. Just do it. You'll be glad that you did. And with that, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna do the John. Boom.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Bye.